Hello my good friends, Derek Deschamps here for Exclusively PS with your PlayStation Weekly News. On this week's show, I'll talk about EA's newly announced Need for Speed Payback, as well as an upcoming action game that has you battling 150-foot ogres called Extinction. I'll also talk about the 3v3 brawler Dissidia Final Fantasy NT, a new third-person adventure game called Strange Brigade, Mega Man Legacy Collection 2, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, the Gothic creators' new open-world game Elex, the new free version of Battleborn, as well as an upcoming action RPG that has you wielding vinyl Frisbees called the Swords of Ditto. That's all coming up on the PlayStation Weekly News. EA announced this week that Need for Speed Payback will be launching for the PS4 on November 10th, 2017. Need for Speed Payback's single-player campaign will follow a former street racer named Tyler Morgan who has been double-crossed and forced into exile. It'll be up to you to rebuild his crew and exact revenge on the criminal underworld cartel called The House. Players will play through the story from the perspective of 3 different characters, as well as fine-tune the performance of 5 distinct car classes. EA has stated the game will contain deeper performance and visual customization than ever before. Players will battle cops, engage in heists, and race against rivals through the fictional city of Fortune Valley, as well as off-road through mountains, canyons, and deserts when the game hits the PS4 on November 10th, 2017. Iron Galaxy announced this week a new game called Extinction will be coming to the PS4 in Q1 2018. Extinction is a fast-paced action game where players take the role of one of the world's last sentinels in an attempt to protect the human population from 150-foot tall ogres and their minions. Enemy hordes will attack from both ground and air as you fight to defend the cities and rescue villagers as they flee from their war-torn homes. The game will feature a skill-based combat system that allows players to travel horizontally and vertically, perform wall runs, as well as vault from their whip to unleash powerful aerial attacks. Players will also be able to learn dynamic combat maneuvers, allowing them to scale giant ogres while attacking their weak points. Extinction will feature a fully destructible environment and the ability to challenge players online in custom battlegrounds when the game ships for the PS4 in Q1 2018. Square Enix announced this week that the arcade fighting game Dissidia Final Fantasy NT will be making its way to the PS4 in early 2018. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT is a 3v3 brawler featuring over 20 Final Fantasy characters, including Final Fantasy XV's protagonist Noctis, as well as over 20 battle arenas. The game will feature competitive online matches, custom lobbies, offline matches versus AI, as well as an all-new story mode written by Kazushige Nojima, whose previous work includes Final Fantasy XV, Kingdom of Hearts, and the upcoming Final Fantasy VII remake. Players will also be able to call upon iconic Final Fantasy summons like Ifrit, Shiva, and Odin when the game hits the PS4 in early 2018. Rebellion, the makers of the Sniper Elite series, announced a new game this week called Strange Brigade for the PS4. Strange Brigade is a third-person adventure game set in the 1930s where you take the role of one of 4 playable characters in a military unit tasked with investigating supernatural disturbances in the remote corners of the British Empire. The developer states that players can expect to encounter fantastic and forgotten civilizations shrouded in mystery, uncover treacherous tombs, and test your wits against unfathomable foes. No release date has yet been announced, however the developer has stated that Strange Brigade is coming soon and we can expect more information on the title at next week's E3. Capcom announced this week that Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 will be coming to the PS4 on August 8th, 2017. Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 will include Mega Man 7 through 10 with several new features, including a new challenge mode that will allow players to play through remixes of classic stages. The game will also feature an extra armor option that reduces all damage taken by 50%, checkpoints allowing players to save their progress as they journey through levels. Players can also explore a museum feature providing access to an archive of production art, development materials, sketches, and concept art, as well as a music player giving players the ability to listen to their favorite tracks from each game. Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 will be available digitally in both North America and Europe, with a physical version also available in North America when it hits the PS4 on August 8th, 2017. Ninja Theory announced this week that Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice will be coming to the PS4 on August 8th, 2017. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is an action game that follows a traumatized Celtic warrior who suffers from psychosis as she journeys through the Viking underworld of Hell. Ninja Theory, the developers of games like Heavenly Sword, Enslaved Odyssey to the West, and DMC Devil May Cry, are attempting to bridge the gap between independent and AAA games with the title, and aim to release a game with the look and feel of a AAA blockbuster title with half the length of a regular AAA game for half the price. Ninja Theory promises to deliver a game with ninja-class melee gameplay, a strong character story, and unique art style when Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice hits the PS4 on August 8th, 2017. Piranha Bytes announced this week that their upcoming title Elex will be hitting the PS4 on October 17th, 2017. Elex is a seamless open-world action RPG from the makers of the Gothic series, featuring a unique setting containing everything from beautiful high fantasy-inspired magical forests to sci-fi themed post-apocalyptic landscapes with battle mechs. Players will join the war for a powerful resource that instills magical powers at the cost of losing your humanness, as they venture through a world full of original characters, mutated creatures, and deep moral choices. The game will feature vertical exploration through the use of jetpacks, allowing players to reach any area, as well as a tactical combat system for both close and range combat when it hits the PS4 on October 17, 2017. Gearbox Software announced a new free trial version for their online multiplayer shooter Battleborn this week. The new free trial version features unlimited access to the game's competitive multiplayer with free access to all the game's multiplayer maps and modes with no time limits or level caps. Players will have access to 6 of the game's 30 heroes, with the available roster rotating each week. All progress made with heroes is permanent and will be available the next time the hero makes its way back into rotation. The game will also feature a new queue designed specifically for new and lower ranked players, giving those that are new to Battleborn the ability to learn the game before competing against more experienced players. Battleborn's free trial version is available now in North America, with the European version hitting the PS4 on June 13, 2017. Devolver Digital revealed a new action RPG called the Swords of Ditto this week for the PS4. In Swords of Ditto, players embark on a heroic adventure through a dangerous overworld and through menacing dungeons as they battle the evil Mormo and her armies. The game will feature roguelike elements where every hero's adventure becomes legend and plays a part in a heroic legacy that has direct implications for those that follow. Players will be able to complete the game solo or with a friend in local co-op while wielding traditional weapons such as sword and bow, as well as more unique weapons like a vinyl record Frisbee, magic golf club, or a colossal foot from the heavens. The Swords of Ditto will allow players to complete missions in any order, including the ability to fight the game's main boss Mormo right from the start when it hits the PS4 sometime in 2018. That's all your PlayStation news for this week. I'm here every Friday with a brand new episode. To stay up to date with all the latest in PlayStation, be sure to subscribe. I'm Derek Deschamps for Exclusively PS. Thanks for watching.